We are less than a month away from the big Meta Connect 2024 event, and all signs are pointing towards the fact that the Quest 3S will be launching at that event. And if it follows the model from last year, there will also be headsets there on site to actually test and demo and report back to you, since we are going to be going to that event. On top of that, they're talking about their most futuristic venture yet, a set of AR glasses that feel like real glasses also being up for demo at the event. If the 3S follows the pattern we've seen in the past also, it will go up for pre-order launching 2 to 3 weeks after the event, showing up in homes, which would perfectly align this with the news that we're hearing about Quest 3 exclusive game Batman Arkham Shadow launching sometime in October, leading to the cheeky laughs that we got when we asked about a 3S on site at Camouflage when we got to test Batman early.
And it'll work on the Quest 3S that's coming out before the game launches, right?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
And hopefully that meaning that although these new games like Batman and Alien are going to be Quest 3 exclusives, they would also be on the 3S, giving users the same games and experiences, just with the 3S having its lower end lenses. If you've somehow missed all the updates lately, the Quest 3S is basically a light version of the Quest 3, all the same internals and hardware, but a lower end frame. The lenses would be the inferior Fresnel lenses we were used to on the Quest 2, which means lower end screens because the pancake optics of the Quest 3 need to have much more powerful, brighter screens, and it would lose some of the other features like the IPD adjustment wheel of the Quest 3, potentially not have a auxiliary port headphone jack on it anymore, but at least one new feature like an action button on the bottom that's been spotted, all ideally coming with the same controllers as the Quest 3 at a price that the Quest 2 was, the $299 for the base model. So with it 1 month away, where are you at? Do you still have a Quest 2 and you're going to buy one of these? Are you holding out to see if this comes out to buy your first VR headset? Or if you have a Quest 3, are you also going to buy a 3S just to see what it's like, or so you have something to play multiplayer with your family? Let me know in the comments. A roadmap had been leaked looking like the Quest 3S was supposed to launch this year, 2024, a Quest 4 in 2026, and then a Pro 2 model, something that could actually compete with the Apple Vision Pro in 2027. Well, now another report is out claiming that the Pro 2 has been completely canceled. The headset that was codenamed La Jolla was supposed to use high-resolution micro OLED displays, which are very expensive and unfortunately were the determining factor in this possibility that they are now going to cut the headset completely, with sources saying that Boz said to stop working on this headset because they realized there was no way they could make it a sub $1,000 headset with micro OLEDs by 2027. The prices of them are just too high. This Pro 2 was a follow-up to the original Pro. It was going to have the design where it kept the battery in the back, helping balance the weight, and it was also supposed to use the convincing photorealistic codec avatars that Meta's been showing off with face tracking sensors, although there's been more and more showing up in the code thinking that maybe even the Quest 4 could actually use those avatars, meaning that maybe there really just wasn't much of a need or room for a Pro 2. With the lack of success of the original Quest Pro, it seems like it'd be a risky venture to jump back into that side again, although maybe with people seeing Apple Vision Pro's price tag of $3,500, a sub $1,000 Quest Pro would actually have room in the market. With all the exciting things that have been going on here at the channel, everything in the VR industry coming, we still are giving away VR headsets to thank all of you for all of your support. So if you missed those giveaways, they're down in the description, the comments below if you want to get entered. And as we talked about, if the 3S is really going to launch next month, we'll actually start giving away 3Ss, as we used to give away a lot of 2s, but now we can't really get our hands on them anymore. But curious to all of you out there, if it came down to it and we could get 1 Quest 3 giveaway or 2 3S giveaways in a month, which one would you actually prefer? The higher chances of getting the 3Ss or the more premium headset, the Quest 3, the headset that's going to continue remaining the premium headset for now, especially if these rumors about the Pro 2 not coming are actually true. It also begs a big question. It seems like 2025 has a pretty big hole if Meta doesn't launch some sort of headset, as we've gotten pretty used to something coming every year. But let me know your thoughts on that. Meta promised us a while back they were going to open up the ecosystem further, not only allowing other developers to actually develop headsets using the Horizon operating system, but now we're seeing the renamed Horizon Store no longer has the separate app lab and has now launched as the Open Horizon Store, which has all apps available that you could find, whether they're in early access, what would have used to be App Lab, or of course the main Oculus Store, meaning that a lot more developers are seeing more actual publicity on the store and getting their games in front of more people. Click Games, a big developer, one that made Monkey Doo-Doo, talked about on Twitter how they're seeing a big increase in visibility due to this new open store. Great news for developers of all sizes, especially those who have been on App Lab and really had a struggle of trying to get out there and be seen by people. It's good news when we get to see Meta actually following through on some promises they made, although it's going to be a while before we see other headsets made by other people, and it'll be interesting to see how they react based on their pricing and trying to keep their headsets still being the most most popular Quest-style headset. In another step that would be kind of surprising if it was actually pulled off, Meta is saying they would be happy to do the heavy lifting to get AirPlay on the Quest if Apple is down. This is something that has long been in the works with Meta, even going back as far as when John Carmack used to be there. He said that they always wanted to get Apple AirPlay support on the Quest, but Apple wouldn't cooperate. In a tweet from him, he said, quote, "I'm sure that there were screw Meta factions, but surely there are also factions that want AirPlay to be a ubiquitous standard on every display," end quote. And so yeah, it would make sense if Apple AirPlay can be on absolutely everything. Why not do that, even with someone who's considered a competitor? But Boz bringing up the conversation again, saying they would like to see this on the Quest and they would even go through the trouble of getting it there themselves. Of course, back when John Carmack was working on this, the Apple Vision Pro wasn't something we were all aware of, but now with that being in the ecosystem, it would be even harder to see Apple actually partner up with Meta to make something like this happen. For Apple users out there, what do you think? Would you actually use AirPlay on your Quest? Multimodal support is something we've been talking about for the Quest 3 for a while. That's where a headset can track your hands, the controllers, both one or the other, and one of each. Well, now the Quest 2 is getting that update and it's also going to have multimodal. The only way you could get this before on the Quest 2 is by using the Pro controllers with your Quest 2, but now the default touch controllers also have this ability. Although this is a big feature that Meta's been talking about for a while, there's still almost no apps out there that support it. And I've seen more in the comments, people complaining of how it just seems like their headset's getting confused all the time. I know mine, even today when I was using it, it kept trying to switch from hands to controller to hands to controller when I was holding the controllers up in its view the whole time. Is multimodal working better for any of you out there currently? I'm waiting for that one app that really shows what it could actually do to be able to switch back and forth controllers, because it does seem like it'd be really cool, but I haven't really seen a proof of concept yet on it. There's so much more going on in the news this week, but with us being gone for a week in Germany last week, we've got a lot more to catch up on. So we'll probably see some more videos over the next few weeks, some of the breaking news, some of the stuff that's been happening over in the Pico realm, PSVR 2, Apple Vision Pro as well. But what matters the most to you out there? What are you thinking about in the future? Are you looking forward to Connect? Are you curious what's going to happen with these other headsets? Have you been using a PSVR 2 on PC? I'd love to know in the comments down below. Continue the conversation with you there. Thank you once again for being here with me and showing us all the support all these years, and I'll see you in another reality.